so last video do static routing for the last video. So now we're gonna configure do dynamic routing. So we're going to talk about dynamic routing. We have two dynamic routing protocol types. We have IGP and EGP. So we have IGP, which is the interior gateway protocol, and exterior gateway EGP. So we're going to use focus polarization on IGP. Under IGP, we have distance vector routing protocol, which is routing by rumor. That means the router sends information about just what they add and they pass it on. And we have link states routing protocol, which is, for example, if router one sends its route information to this router, it will pass to the same to this without any changes be made. For routing by rumor, it will pass to this and there will be changes made and it pass to this. Under the base distance vector protocol, we have two main, which are router, router a RIP, which are routing information protocol, which we're going to be doing today, and AIGRP, which is enhanced interior gateway routing protocol. And for the link state routing protocol, we have OSPF and ISIS. So I'm going to focus attention today on WIP, which is the dynamic routing protocol. So now we're going to go into router one again. I will say router one, enable config T. So as we already said, to set static routing, to say to show the IP routes. It tells like two static routes to two different networks now. So we're going to say no IP route to remove the IP routes from these devices. So say no IP routes. You use no command to remove any IP address. I've put some IP routes 192.168.2.0, 255.255.255.0, 12.0.0.2. So with that network, we don't have any static route for remove the other one too. We'll see IP address 4.3 also. So we'll see now to show us the routing table, say do show IP routes. There'll be no static routes in there because we have removed the static routes already. This new command, so there'll be no static routes. So now we're going to come here use now dynamic routing protocols, and to show them dynamic routing protocol easy, it's really easy. So go enter to router one. So so while in global configuration mode, you have to configure routing protocols at the global configuration mode. So say we start with router WIP. This is the first command in doing any WIP. Any router using WIP routing information protocol. We'll start with router WIP, and as remember enter, it moves to a specific mode, which is configure router, which is routing protocol. And we start by saying version 2. The version 2 is a little small version. Version 1 deals with classful, so a classful IP address like we've got first the word when class A, class B, class C. That is with version 1. It deals with that. But now in version 2 deals with now the C idea, which is the classes IP address classless version. Also version 2, we say network, which is the network, and then we put in network, you have the IP address here. Say 192.168.168.0.1.0. The network input is the network that the router knows. That is what you advertise. Basically, this is advertisement. You put a network the router knows. Not network the router do not know. Like for static route, you put in network the router does not know. when the router no sabi, now they put the address for the one the router no sabi. For this now they put address where the router sabi, the 192.168.0, put again network 12.0.0.0, network 13.0.0.0. The three network the router knows. You say enter, and then the last command. This last command is very important, which is the no auto summary. This is a very important command. If again, if you don't put this into summary, you take this all as a class full address. For example, take this as a class C, as a class A, class C address, but this is not a class A address. So no to summary, and that's it for router one. Configure the router the device they know. So say for now we can move how to configure only routers now. Router 2 again. So for router 2 now, how to remove the static routing there. Config T, say no IP route. So say first of all show IP2, show IP routes. We also use the word when we are in a mode. Like for example, the show mode only works on privilege mode. But we use do just to see it. Instead of moving down, up and down, up and down. So just use do to show us now. And you see now it has two static address here. SS. So say no IP routes 192.168.1.0. It goes by 12.0.0.1. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, no, we didn't put subnet mask. 255.255.255.0. We did not put subnet mask. So saying again, no IP routes for the .3 network 192.168.3.0. 255.255.255.0 goes by 23.0.0.2. So we check now, we say do show IP routes. There was no static routes here again. So now to configure the route, the RIP paths now, to say router RIP, I'll start the first one, and we say it's version 2. After that version 2 now, we then check the network connected to router 2. The first network, same network 192.168.2.0. This network over here, and check for that network connected over. So say again network. This network is going to router 2. Say 12.0.0.0 network is also going to router 2 23.0.0.0.0, and also the most important one, no auto summary. The configuration for router 2 is n as n for RIP, and say router 3 now, enter there again, say enable, now say now show IP routes. It also has two static address here, so we want to remove them. So T no IP routes 192.168.1.0 255.255.255.0, and now right go past 13.0.0.1. Say no IP route for the second one also 192.168.2.0 255.255.255.0, and then this 23.0.0.1. So we have moved the so say now we say do show IP out. There is no static out in here. So moving out to router heap now. So I've got heap to say router heap. Start with that. Enter and then the global config router. So connect. We also add the say version 2, and then we add the network connected to router 3. So it's well dot in, no, so network, sorry, network dot in dot 0.0.0 network, this network over here, this and this, so say network 23.0.0.0, network 192.168.3.0, and the important one no to summary. So you see easily, if now if you have not done this, no IP out, this is just the basic easy command for dynamic routing. Just do this on all of the routers in the basic. So now we will check now. Let's fast forward this font. We check our router one routing table. So exits, say show IP routes. We now see the router to 12 IP routes knows this. So say the router to 23.0.0.0, which is this network here. It also sees 192.168.2, 196.168.3. This is network over here. So again, this and this. I would not remember. I would not put this networks over on in router on this router one configuration. We only put the network that they know. 192.168.168.1.0. I've already put that there. So the reason why it shows some of these shows this is possibly down by because it already knows this router again. It knows the router, so it do not want to do it again. So I know the router here. They already know the router, already know what .1.3, so there's no need for us to shut that down and use the connected link. We check again router 2 over here. We'll say exits, we should now show IP route. This IP route should know this, should get to this network, and this network on router 2. Open it again, and you see the router 191.3.1 and .13. Cancel it .13 here, in just .13 now. .13 can get two .13 two interfaces. Can get two .13 two here and two here. Go to router 3 again. Still just do show IP routes. It knows .2 over here on router 2 side and .1 also. And knows also about the 12 network over here. So now we check now connectivity to say that and sorry, PC1 want to send to server 1. Remember, we will not do any static routing, we just do dynamic routing. So we say simulation, we see automatically it will move to the server 1. The reason why this is why dynamic routing is so easy. For dynamic routing, you have to configure both sides of the link. We just advertise, basically advertisement, advertise what you got. One advertise what it's got, which was this network, and this network. It advertised them. Router 2 also advertise this network, this, and this network is seen. Router same for router 3. They advertise the route information to each other. So now router 1 can say you can go to this through this the advertisement this do. You can get to this because this said yeah, it can go to this part. You can also go to it because this said can go to this part. So they also talk to each other. They send information to each other. They send out information. So this is basic RIP configuration. Yeah. So now for the sorry again for the static routing, I want to know now in case this router wants to send message to the internet, but it doesn't know how to get to the internet. So say we're going to do now static default static routes to get to these networks, but we're not going to do it for every device. Where I'm just going to go to router three. Router three, we exit. We say IP route. We're going to do static routes 0.0.0.0 for the internet paths and do 0/0/1 to this network, this interface, we can get to the internet. So now we're going to go back to router RIP. This is to tell all the device on it. This show all the routers that this router 3 can get to the internet. So if you have any message for the internet, send it to router 3. You say router RIP, then we just put default information originates. That's it for default routes. So instead of configuring all this over here, we just put it on just one. So imagine you have like 50 routers or 25 routers. To do configuration individually on each one of them, it will take a long time. We just configure it on one. So now we can go to router one. So see just a route to the internet, you just say show IP route. So you say gateway of last resort is so in this interface over here, this IP interface here, and to the network zero site, this is the in there. It shows that if it does not know the destination IP address, just send it to router 3. Just send it to router 3. Router 3 will just deal with the internet back. So this is router way, and yeah, so this is the final one for routing, for static routing, and how to do them from basic RIP.